day 15 of my 7th annual SLAP challenge. SLAP, S-L-A-P, stands for squats, lunges, abs, and push-ups. We are doing at least 40 squats, at least 40 lunges, at least 40 reps of an ab exercise, and at least 40 push-ups a day, every single day except Sundays for 40 days. And this is day 15 already, but that does not mean that it is too late to join the challenge. It is never too late to join the challenge. Of course, you don't need to do the entire challenge just to do this workout with me today. So there are timestamps in the description box down below the video. If you would prefer to just skip straight ahead to the workout, you can go ahead and use the chapter markers to do that. But if you would like to hear a little bit about what the challenge is, how it works, how you can participate, where to begin, and if you would like to see today's exercises briefly demonstrated and explained before we begin, let's go ahead and get into that right now. So you can see what I have here today is a set of dumbbells and an exercise mat. You don't need any exercise equipment whatsoever to follow along with this workout. The added weight is optional, but if you do want to add weight, I recommend a light set of dumbbells. If you don't have dumbbells, look for household items that will work. So maybe a couple of shampoo bottles or water bottles filled with some sort of weight. If you have full shampoo bottles, you could just use them as is. If you have empty shampoo bottles, you can fill them with water. You might be able to make them a bit heavier if you fill them with something like uncooked rice or dried beans or lentils, kitty litter, powdered laundry detergent, something like that. Or even those little decorative pebbles. If you're taking your workout to the beach or to the park or the hiking trail, maybe you could fill them with sand or dirt. But as long as you can find something that you're able to maintain a secure grip on so that you're not going to drop it on yourself and injure yourself, and you're not going to break something or make a mess, then pretty much anything can work for weight. So just get creative and use what's available to you. If you're taking your workout to the beach or the park or the hiking trail today, you could probably even find a couple of rocks. That would work. And then other than that, all you're going to need is something soft beneath you for our ab exercise. So I have my jump rope mat here. My jump rope mat is nice and thick. I like it on this concrete. If you're working out on concrete like I am or on a wood floor, then an exercise mat or a yoga mat is ideal. If you don't have a mat, a towel should probably suffice. If you're working out on a carpeted floor or on grass, then you probably won't need anything at all. But that's it. That's all I'm using for today's workout. So this workout that we're doing today is at kind of an intermediate level. The playlist this year for the workout is geared towards not ultra beginners, but the workouts are also not super duper advanced. They're not super challenging. So there is a playlist that contains all of the workouts for this challenge in chronological order. I will link the playlist up here in the iCard. It will also be linked in the description box down below the video, and I will link it at the very end of the video as well, just to make sure that you can't miss it. So click on the link in the iCard, save the playlist. Even if you're undecided whether or not you want to join the challenge, save the playlist so that when and if you decide you want to join the challenge, you have all of the workouts readily available to you, and all you have to do is follow along with the playlist. So when and if you decide you want to join the challenge, you have a couple of options. First of all, you can jump in and start today. That is fine with me. I would rather have you do days 15 through 40 of the challenge with me than to not do any days. So if you are the one doing it, then it's your challenge. So you're going to do it in whatever way works for you. But if you would like to start the challenge on day 1, the challenge is designed to start on a Wednesday. So as long as you start with your day 1 workout on a Wednesday, then everything will fall into place. You just need to follow along with the playlist. It is super easy to follow along, I promise. But remember that I am here doing the challenge right along with you. So I'm not just doing the workouts with you every day, but I am also here to provide guidance. I am here to help you as you navigate this challenge. So if you need any support or encouragement, if you have questions about how the challenge works, where to begin, what level you're supposed to be working at, or how you can make changes or modifications to accommodate your current fitness level or your time constraints or your access to equipment, I am here to answer any and all questions. So please ask questions if you have them. Not just about today's video, about today's workout, but general questions about the challenge. I promise I'm here with you every step of the way from day 1 through day 40 and beyond. So don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions about what the challenge is, how it works, how you can participate, and where to begin. Now, if you are an absolute beginner, you may think that you can't do a 40-day fitness challenge, but you can do a 40-day fitness challenge. You may think you can't do squats. You may think you can't do push-ups, but yes, you can. Here's what I want you to do if you are an absolute beginner. I'm going to link another playlist up here in the iCard. This playlist is the playlist that I made last year when we did this challenge. So this is our year 6 playlist. So again, if you are a beginner, click on the link, save the playlist. And then what you're going to do is start by just watching that day 1 video. You don't have to commit to anything yet. You don't have to do a single squat yet. You don't have to do any push-ups. Just click on the link in the iCard, save the playlist, and watch the day 1 video. That's all I'm asking of you for right now. After you have watched that day 1 video, and you have given me an opportunity to convince you that this challenge is for you, you can do it, because you have seen all of your beginner modifications, and you understand what the challenge is and how it works and how you can make it work for you, then again, what you're going to do is just start with your day 1 workout on a Wednesday. Whether you're beginner, intermediate, or advanced, regardless of your fitness level, regardless of which playlist you're following along with, the challenge is always the same. The challenge is always 40 squats, 40 lunges, 40 reps of abs, and 40 push-ups a day, every day except Sundays for 40 days, and the challenge always starts on a Wednesday. So click on the link in the iCard, save the playlist, start by watching that day 1 video that's going to explain everything you could ever possibly want to know about what the challenge is. I talked about the origins of the challenge, why I started doing this challenge back in 2020. I talked about our objectives, what we're hoping to accomplish with this challenge, and I provided tons of beginner modifications, and I made it really, really clear how you can participate and where to begin. So watch that day 1 video, and then when and if you decide that you want to participate in the challenge, just start with your day 1 workout on a Wednesday, and from there, everything will fall into place. You just follow along with the playlist. It's super easy. Now, if you are advanced, if you're really strong, you have great stamina, you're in excellent shape, you have access to some basic fitness equipment, and you have a little bit more time to dedicate to your workouts, then you might want to follow along with the year 5 playlist. So I will link that playlist up here in the iCard. It will also be linked in the description box down below the video, and I will link it on the end screen. So all 3 playlists, beginner, intermediate, and advanced, all 3 playlists will be linked in the iCard. All 3 playlists will be linked in the description box down below the video, and all 3 of those playlists will be linked at the very end of the video. So especially if you're really advanced, I would say to save all 3 playlists, and that way, on any given day of the challenge, you will have 3 options. You'll be able to choose from a beginner workout, an intermediate workout, or an advanced workout. Year 5 of the challenge, the workouts were much longer and much more difficult because we were frequently doing more than just those 160 reps. We were frequently doing more than just 40 squats, just 40 lunges, just 40 reps of abs, or just 40 push-ups. We, of course, were also doing more challenging variations of those 4 exercises. We were frequently adding weight to the workouts. We also, a lot of times, were doing exercises other than squats, lunges, abs, and push-ups. We were doing our 160 slap reps, but in addition to that, sometimes we were doing other exercises that were incorporated into the workout that were not squats, lunges, abs, or push-ups. And for most of those workouts, I also was adding about 20 minutes or so of moderate paced cardio right into the workout. So if you're looking for workouts that are really tough, that are really going to challenge you, then you're going to want to follow along with the year 5 playlist. So to recap, beginner playlist is year 6. If you're a beginner, you're going to follow along with year 6. If you're at more of an intermediate level, you're going to follow along with year 7. That's the workouts I'm sharing this year. This is year 7 of the challenge. If you are more advanced, then you're going to follow along with year 5 of the challenge. Now, you don't have to stick with the same playlist throughout the duration of the challenge. The point is that you have several workouts to choose from each day. So maybe you're really strong and you're in excellent shape and you have the equipment I'm using and you could do the year 5 workout for that day, but maybe you're a little sore. Maybe you're not feeling well. You didn't sleep well the night before. You're low on energy. You're pressed for time. You're traveling. You don't have access to equipment. Well, in that case, you have options. So you can either apply equipment-free or beginner modifications that are included in that video, Or you can check out what we're doing this year for the corresponding day or any other day, or you can check out what we did last year. If you're really pressed for time, or if you just need something a little low key, if you're not feeling well, then the beginner workouts that we did last year, they're still great workouts, but if you're in really great shape, you'll be able to finish all of those workouts pretty much in like 10 minutes, maybe less. So if you're really pressed for time, but you want to stick with the challenge, then just because you're advanced doesn't mean you have to stick with the year 5 playlist. You can absolutely do one of the beginner workouts that we did last year, knock out your reps in like less than 10 minutes, and there, you've met your requirement to participate in the challenge. So you can kind of bounce around between all 3 playlists. You don't have to go in order either. So if you're following along with the playlist, the workouts are numbered days 1 through 40, but you don't have to go in order. You can just do any of the workouts off of any of the playlists on any given day of the challenge, and that's fine. So for example, today's day 15. So you open up YouTube today, you click on this video and you see what we're doing today, and you're not feeling it. You don't want to do this workout. Well, you can do last year's day 15 workout, or you can do the year 15 workout from year 5. But you don't have to do the day 15 workout on day 15. You open up this video, you don't really like this workout, but there was a workout earlier in the challenge that you loved. You can revisit that one. Or you can just choose any workout off of any 3 of these playlists, and that can be your workout for the day. So as long as you're getting your 160 reps done, it doesn't matter how you get them done. So it doesn't have to be a workout off of one of these playlists. It doesn't even have to be one of my workouts. As long as you find any workout on YouTube or anywhere else that happens to contain at least 40 squats, at least 40 lunges, at least 40 reps of any ab exercise, and at least 40 push-ups, then that will meet your requirement to participate in the challenge. So any workout you can find that meets those requirements is fine. You can write your own workout, or if you want, you can just spread out your reps throughout the course of the day. You don't have to incorporate them into a structured workout. So you could get up in the morning and first thing do 10 push-up or 10 squats, 10 lunges, 10 reps of any ab exercise you want, and 10 push-ups. Any variations of those 4 exercises you want, and then you can just repeat that 3 more times throughout the course of your day. So you could do that again after lunch, you could do it again after you get home from work, and 1 more time before bed, and there's your 160 reps. So the challenge is very flexible as long as you're getting your 160 reps done at some point throughout the course of your day. It doesn't matter how or when you do them. It doesn't matter what variations of those exercises you choose. As long as you're getting your reps done, you have met your requirement to participate in the challenge. So hopefully that is all clear. That's all I'm going to say about the challenge for today. But of course, as always, if you have any more questions about what the challenge is, where to begin, I'm right here. So ask questions if you have them, but I'm going to go ahead and show you the exercises that I'm doing for today's workout. And I will provide equipment-free substitutions. I'm only using my light set of dumbbells for 1 exercise, so really you don't need any exercise equipment whatsoever to follow along with this workout. But if you do want to add weights, I recommend a light set of weights for reference, and for reference only, these are 5-pound dumbbells. That is a good weight for me. If you may need to use something lighter, you may need to use something heavier. That depends on your strength, it depends on your level of fitness. It also just depends on what you have available to you, and of course it depends on how hard you are looking to push yourself today, so please consider all of those factors when choosing your weights and make the decision that is best for you. But these weights feel light to me when I pick them up, so I do recommend choosing weights that feel relatively light to you when you pick them up. You can do this exercise with heavier weights, but I'm doubling the reps, so heavier weights to me would just make it take too long, it would be too tedious, and it might become too taxing. So I'm just going to use the lighter weights. That's what's going to work for me today. You make the decision that is best for you. But we are doing dead bugs. So you're going to start down on your mat with your knees bent at roughly about a 90-degree angle. And you are going to hold your dumbbells together. Extend your arms up overhead like this. This is your starting position. Now from here, you're just going to lower one heel down towards the ground. So straighten the leg and lower your heel down to the ground, and as you do that, you're lowering the opposite dumbbell down to the ground and tapping the ground above your head with the dumbbell, and then reverse the movement. So bring the leg back, bring the arm back, return to your starting position. You'll be alternating sides with each rep. So then with your next rep, you're going to straighten the opposite leg, Lower the heel down towards the ground with control. At the same time, you're lowering the opposite dumbbell down over your head with control, and then reversing the movement, bringing the dumbbell back, bending your knee, and returning to your starting position. Now, do your best to make sure that as you are lowering one leg towards the ground, the other leg does not move. So the temptation is going to be to kind of allow this bent knee to come in towards your chest, but do your best to keep your bent knee stable. Keep this knee right here so that it's just going to make the exercise more effective because it's going to help you really isolate those lower ab muscles more effectively. So the other thing that I want you to think about doing is tilting your pelvis forward so that you're pressing your low back into the mat and really engaging those deep core muscles, okay? And if you don't want to add weight, you're just going to do the same exercise without any added weight. So just starting here, lowering one leg down to the ground, at the same time lowering your opposite arm down to the ground with control, and then reversing the movement, alternating sides, opposite leg, opposite arm. Make sure you're lowering that leg down with control, so don't just allow your heel to drop down to the ground. You want to tap your heel to the ground, but the movement should be under control. You really want your entire core engaged for this one. But that's it. That is our ab exercise. I'm going to be double counting them. So I'm going to count each 2 dead bugs as 1 rep, so that by the end of the workout, we will have done a total of 40 reps on each side. So I'm doubling the amount of abs today. So if that's too much for you, you can single count them. You can count 1, 2, 3, like that. I am going to be double counting them. So I'm going to count 1 dead bug on each side as 1 rep. But I'm still doing 40 reps, but you can do half that amount and still meet your requirement to participate in the challenge. Got it? All right. So that is our first exercise. Now, if you do not like dead bugs, you can substitute with any other ab exercise you want. That is the way this challenge works. So on any given day, if you're following along with the workout and you like the workout, you like the way it's structured and you want to work out with me, but there's one exercise that you can't do or you don't like, it's uncomfortable, you don't have the equipment I'm using, whatever, you can just swap out a different variation. So while I'm doing my ab exercise, you can be just doing any other ab exercise you want if you don't want to do dead bugs. And that goes for any of these exercises on any given day. If you're following along with the workout, you don't like the squat variation I'm doing, while I'm doing my squat variation, you could be doing a different squat variation, but still follow along with the video and the same format of the workout, okay? So just always remember that any ab exercise you want to do is fine. I am doing weighted dead bugs, I'm double counting them. You can drop the added weight, you can single count them, or you can do a different exercise altogether. Any ab exercise you want to do is fine. So any crunch variation, any sit-up variation, any ab exercise, okay? But that is it. That is my ab exercise, and that's the only exercise that I'm using my dumbbells for. Squats, lunges, and push-ups, I'm going to be combining into a little combo. So let me show you the combo. Now, if you are still with me, if you are following along with this video today, I'm going to assume that you are not a beginner. I'll assume that if you are an absolute beginner, you're going to follow along with last year's day 15 workout. It's not exactly the same, but it's similar. I'm going to link that specific workout up here in the iCard. So if you're an absolute beginner, you might want to follow along with that workout instead. I actually really loved that workout, but it's super kind of low key. During these days 13, 14, 15 of last year, I was not feeling well. So I really scaled the workouts back a lot. So they're really, really good if you're a super duper day 1 beginner. But if you are a beginner, you can probably still follow along with this workout today, but you might need to make some adjustments, some modifications. So let me know if you need help with beginner modifications. But I'm going to assume for the most part, if you're following along with this video, that you generally know the correct form for squats and lunges and abs. So I'm not going to go into too much detail. If you need more instruction, here are your options. Option number 1, follow along with last year's day 15 video. because last year the challenge was really focused on beginners, and so I went into a lot of detail and I provided extensive instructions so that you would understand how to do each exercise correctly, or you can ask, okay? If you have any doubts about how to do the exercises correctly, or if you need help with beginner modifications, ask me. But let me show you what I am doing today for this little combo. So we are going to start with a push-up, and really I'm just doing a standard push-up, but it's more like a burpee because I'm starting from a standing position. I'm going to bend down and place my hands flat on the ground in front of me, then I'm going to jump my feet back. You can step your feet back one at a time, or you can jump them back. And then I'm just going to do a push-up. So make sure you're minding your form on the push-up. Your body should be in one perfectly straight line. Don't allow your head to drop down like this. Put your head in line with your spine. Don't allow yourself to kind of sink into your shoulders. Press the ground away from you so that your shoulders are away from your ears, and tighten up your abs. Make sure you're using your ab muscles to lift your hips high and keep them lifted high. You want your back flat, so do not allow your hips or your belly to droop down towards the mat like this. Lift those hips up high. Keep your body in one perfectly straight line from your heels all the way to the crown of your head. Then you're bending your arms, lowering your chest as close to the ground as you can, and push yourself back up. So make sure that you maintain integrity in your plank pose the entire time. Then you're going to either jump or step your feet in and stand. So that's our push-up. It's just a standard push-up, but I'm starting from a standing position, placing my hands down, jumping my feet back, then doing my push-up and jumping my feet in. Then from here, we're going to do a lunge, a walking lunge or a forward lunge. So I'm going to step forward with one foot, bend both knees and come down into my lunge. Now I'm going to add a little jump up. If this part is too difficult, you can eliminate it, but I'm going to pause here and do a little jump. Then I'm going to take my back foot and bring it forward so that it's in line with my front foot. All right, so if you are eliminating the jump up, it's just going to be a walking lunge. You're going to step forward and lunge, and then bring your back foot forward so that it's in line with the other one. If you're including the jump, you're going to step forward and lunge, jump, and then bring the back foot forward. Just make sure in your lunge that you're doing your best to maintain about a 90-degree angle in this front knee, meaning that the front knee is tracking more over the heel of your front foot as opposed to being out over your toes like this. Make sure the movement is under control so you don't bang your knee into the ground. You don't have to tap the ground with your knee if you don't want to, but just make sure the movement's under control regardless. And that is our lunge variation. So after that, you have an option. You can, here's where we're doing our squat. So you can squat and then twist jump so that you're facing the opposite direction, and that's your combo. Then you'll start again with another push up. So hands down, jump the feet back, push up, step the feet in, step forward and lunge, jump up if you want to, step the back foot forward, then squat, twist, jump. That's one option. I'm going to be doing something a little different than that. I'm going to do the transition to get, so we're going back and forth with this combo, so the transition to turn myself around. I liked what we did last year, so I'm going to do that instead, but I'm still going to do a little jump. So I'm going to do my push-up, then my lunge, step the foot forward. Now from here, I'm going to do my squat. I'm going to stay down. I'm going to take this back hand and place it on the ground in front of me. I'm going to pivot on my front foot, pick up the back foot, and face forward. This arm comes up and over so that now I'm in a crab pose. And now I'm going to continue making my transition so that I want to end up facing the opposite direction from where I started, so that I can travel back in the opposite direction for my next combo. So now this inside foot is going to come up, the outside hand comes up, pivot on this front foot so that now I'm in a squat facing the opposite direction, and from here I'm going to do that jump up. Okay? So my combo is going to look like this. Now I'll head back in the opposite direction. So hands down, jump the feet back, push up, jump the feet in, step forward and lunge, jump up, step the back foot forward, squat, back hand down, pivot to face forward, pivot to face the opposite direction, jump up, all right? So if that transition is too difficult, just do a squat jump with a twist to end up facing the opposite direction, okay? Couple of small details. With each rep, I'm going to always make sure that I'm initiating the lunge with the leg that is closest to you. That way, I make sure that I end up working both sides evenly. So when I'm facing this direction, I'm initiating the lunge with this leg. If you're doing a twist jump, if I were doing a twist jump, I would always make sure that I was twisting towards you. So that as I'm doing this twist, you would never be looking at my booty. I would always be doing my squat, and then as I twist and jump, I'm twisting so that you're looking at the front of me every single time. That way, each time I do that twist jump, I'm alternating which direction I'm turning in. So I will be doing half of my twist jumps in a clockwise direction, half of my twist jumps in a counterclockwise direction. I just want to work both sides evenly. That doesn't apply to what I'm doing today because I'm going to be doing my little crab transitions. But if you are doing that twist jump, make sure that you're always twisting towards the same direction, because when you're facing the opposite way, that means that you're going to be twisting in a different direction each time. You know what I'm saying. So that's it though. That is my combo. So again, the combo is push up, lunge, squat. So any variations of those three exercises mashed into a combo will work, but that's it. That is all we're doing today. So here's the format. I'm going to start with my dead bugs. I'm doing 20 dead bugs, but remember I'm double counting them. So if you do not want to double your abs, you can either do 10 reps or double counted, or you can single count them, but just do 20 reps. So basically just do half. Or you can do what I'm doing, but not repeat the abs. You can just do your abs, get all of your abs done, and then do 40 sets of the combo. That's up to you. As long as you end up completing a total of 40 reps of abs, by the end of the workout, you're good. So just keep in mind that I'm going to be technically doing 80 reps of abs because I'm doing 40 reps of dead bugs on each side. So if you don't want to double your abs, just cut what I'm doing in half. However you want to get that done is fine, okay? But I'm starting with 20 reps of dead bugs, weighted and double counted. Then I'll move on to my combo. I'm going to do 20 sets of my combo, and then I'm just going to repeat the whole thing once more, and that's my workout. So hopefully that is all clear. Please remember that I do always take the time to type out the instructions in the description box down below the video. And of course, I'm going to be doing the entire workout right along with you, so watch me do it, read the instructions. But then of course, as always, if anything is unclear with the format of the workout, how everything fits together, if you have any questions about how to do these exercises with the correct form, or if you need help with equipment-free substitutions or beginner modifications, I'm always here to help. So please ask questions if you have them. I did not go over the proper form for squats. So very quickly, let me just remind you, if you're not a beginner, but let me tell you, if you are a beginner, for your squats, make sure your back stays flat, weight stays in your heels. So you want to start by tucking your shoulder blades into your back pockets so that your shoulders are back and down. Keep that chest lifted high, tighten up your abs. And then before you think about squatting, I want you to think about hinging at the hips. So push your booty back like you're trying to touch the wall behind you with your booty. At the same time, remember you're keeping that chest lifted high, so think about trying to touch the wall in front of you with your chest. The point is that you want your spine elongated so that your back stays flat and the weight stays in your heels as you come down into your squat. Then you're pressing the ground away from you to stand. So make sure that you understand how to do the exercises correctly before you begin the workout. It's really important because it's going to maximize the effectiveness of each exercise, but it's also going to help reduce your risk of injury, and I certainly don't want anyone getting hurt. And also, it is incredibly important to me that all of my workouts are always accessible to anyone and everyone who wants to do them with me. So I'm always here to help facilitate that. Don't hesitate to reach out if you have questions or if you need help. I also want to remind you, especially if you're going to be working out along with the video, to please make sure that you're going at your own pace. So if you're in really good shape, you're probably going to be a lot faster than I am, and that's wonderful. Be faster than I am. Just make sure you're not losing anything off of your form to get there. If you're slower than I am, that is also wonderful because you would not even know that you were slower than I am unless you got dressed, got your little booty out here with me today, and put in the work. As long as you're doing the reps and you're doing them with the proper form, that is all that matters. So don't worry about how fast you're going. Don't race to keep up with me. If you are racing to stay ahead of me because you're competing with me and you want to beat my score, or because you set a really ambitious time goal, or if you're racing to keep up with me and your form starts to get sloppy, that means you need to slow down. It is always going to be safer and more effective to slow down and do your reps with excellent form than it is to race through and let your form get sloppy. So please be smart, be safe, listen to your body, work to your own level, make the decision that is best for you. Mind your form, do not sacrifice your form for speed. Take rest breaks as needed. Okay, if you fall behind, either because you're just working at a slower pace than I am, or because you're finding that you need longer rest breaks than what I'm taking, or you need rest breaks where I'm not taking them, that's fine. Just pause the video and come back when you're ready. I'm not going anywhere. We'll finish the workout together. I do want you to challenge yourself to keep your rest breaks as short as you can, but they should be as long as you need. You should only resume the workout once you feel that you have regained enough strength and you have enough stamina so that you can continue with good form. Okay, so work to your own level. Choose dumbbells or household items that are an appropriate weight for you, nothing too heavy. Drop the added weight if it becomes too taxing. Apply beginner modifications, so you can do push-ups from your knees, you can eliminate the jump on the squats, you can shorten up your range of motion on the lunges, you can hold onto something for support. Please just work to your own level. Do not push your body into doing anything that it is not ready to do. And again, be smart, be safe, listen to your body and make the decision that is best for you, and just do your best. Please remember that your best is always good enough, so let your best be good enough. Hopefully I have covered everything. If you're ready to go ahead and begin the workout, gather whatever equipment you need. So for me, that's just a light set of dumbbells and an exercise mat, and that's it. So the added weight is optional. A light set of dumbbells is great, but if you don't have dumbbells, look for household items that will work, like shampoo bottles or water bottles filled with some sort of weight. If you have nothing that's going to work for weight, or you just don't want to add weight to your workout, that's fine. You can eliminate the added weight. Make sure you have something soft beneath you. So again, an exercise mat or a yoga mat is ideal, but if you don't have a mat, a towel should suffice. And if you are working out on a carpeted floor or on grass, you probably won't need anything at all. Pause the video, go get dressed, meet me right back here. We will start with a quick little 5-minute warm up, and then we'll get right into our day 15 reps. So as soon as you're ready, let's get started with our 5-minute warm up. You're going to begin by just allowing your head to fall towards one shoulder. Now place your hand on top of your head and just rest it there. Make sure your arm is completely relaxed so that you're not pulling your ear down towards your shoulder. You're just allowing gravity to do all the work of gently stretching the opposite side of your neck by just using the weight of your arm. So we're going to switch sides. Allow your head to fall towards the opposite shoulder. Place your hand on top of your head and just rest it there. Make sure your arm is completely relaxed, and make sure your shoulders are relaxed. They should be down away from your ears. Next, we're going to do some head rolls. So you're going to start by just allowing your chin to fall first towards your chest, and then towards the opposite shoulder and back. And each time you roll your head from one shoulder to the other, just start feeling your head getting heavier and heavier. You're going to allow your range of motion to increase so that eventually your entire torso is just kind of spilling in front of you. Your arms should be nice and loose like a rag doll. Next, we're going to do some shoulder rolls. So you can roll your shoulders either towards the back or towards the front. It doesn't matter, but you really want to explore your full range of motion here. So make big circles with your shoulders. Next, we're going to do arm circles. So you're going to just extend your arms straight out to the sides and start by making small circles. Again, you can make your circles towards the front or towards the back. It doesn't matter. But gradually, you want to start expanding your range of motion, making those circles bigger and bigger until finally you're making your circles as big as you possibly can, really waking up those shoulders. Now, feet a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. You're going to bend your knees and sweep your arms in front of you. And as you straighten the knees, you're reaching up as high as you can towards the ceiling each time you bend your knees, allowing your range of motion to increase, sinking deeper and deeper into that squat. Now keep your feet planted right where they are. Again, they should be wider than shoulder width apart. We're going to lunge side to side, nice and easy, adding the arms. So now with each lunge, I'm just reaching my arm across my body. Should feel like you're trying to throw your arm across the room. Next, we're going to step the feet in and just march in place. Super simple, starting with your knees low, but gradually as the interval progresses, you're going to start driving your knees up higher and higher towards your chest until finally you're driving your knees up as high as you possibly can towards your chest. Really get them up there. Feel a nice little stretch in your glutes. Now we're going to jog in place. So again, you're starting with your knees low, but gradually as the interval progresses, you're going to start driving your knees up higher and higher towards your chest until finally you're driving your knees up as high as you possibly can. One more jogging interval. Next is booty kicks. So now with each step, you're just bringing your heel behind you, trying to kick yourself in the booty with your heels. So if you struggle with balance for this next one, you can hold onto the wall or a chair or something for support. If not, hands on your hips is fine. You're going to transfer your weight into one foot, pick up the other foot, and just swing the leg front and back. Nice and easy. Just waking up those hip flexors now. So now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So you'll set this foot down, transfer your weight, pick up the opposite foot, swing the leg front and back. You can start low, but gradually as the interval progresses, if it feels comfortable, you can start expanding your range of motion, swinging that leg higher and higher. Now you're going to put this foot down, transfer your weight again, pick up the opposite foot, extend the leg out in front of you, and then make a semicircle with your leg, bringing the leg around and behind you. Each time you make that semicircle, you're going to lift the leg higher and higher, and we're finishing with 2 hip circles. So drive the knee up towards your chest. Use your hand to guide it around for a hip circle. Now we're going to switch sides. So put this foot down, extend the opposite leg out in front, and bring the leg around and behind you, making a semicircle, lifting the leg higher and higher each time, and finishing with 2 hip circles. So drive the knee up in front of you, use your hand to guide it around, and we'll finish with a quick hamstring stretch. So if you want, you can use the wall or a chair or the arm of your couch to assist you getting into this stretch. But you want to start with your feet wide apart and then hinge at the hips. Keep your back as flat as you can so that you isolate your hamstrings more effectively. So if you use the wall or a chair or the arm of your couch or something like that, it just can make it a little bit easier to keep your back flat while coming into this stretch. Might make it a little bit more comfortable, and it will make it a little bit more accessible for you. But that's it. That's our little 5-minute warm-up. So let's get right into the workout. We're starting with 20 reps of dead bugs. Remember, I'm double counting mine. You don't have to, and I am adding weight to mine, but you don't have to. You can do these with or without weight, and you can single count them or double count them. Make the decision that is best for you, but I'm starting my timer in 3, 2, 1, and we're going to be doing 20 reps of dead bugs on each leg or each side. So coming down onto your back on the mat, I'm holding my dumbbells together like this, extending my arms up overhead. I'm elevating my heels and I'm keeping my knees bent at about a 90-degree angle. And now I'm going to slowly, with control, lower one heel down to the ground. And at the same time, I'm lowering the opposite dumbbell down to the ground. Then return to your starting position. Now I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So extending the opposite leg, straightening the knee, tapping the heel down to the ground, at the same time tapping the opposite dumbbell down to the ground above my head. So I'm counting that as 1 rep, okay? So now, extend one arm overhead, extend one leg down, tap the heel, and now reverse the movement. Return to your starting position. Other side, extend one leg, extend the opposite arm, and reverse the movement. So that's 2. All right, so we're going to 20, do your best. So for me, that's 10 on each side. So that's 10 reps for me. I'm going to do another 10, but if you're not double counting these, then you've already done 20 reps, so you can move on to the combo. If you want to double the reps with me, let's go ahead and do another 10 reps on each side. So the way I'm counting is 11, 12, 13. So 7 more double counted. That's 20. So really, that was 40. So if you did all of those with me, your other option, if you don't want to double the amount of reps you're doing of abs, is you can just move on to the combo and do all 40 sets of your combo, and that's your workout. So as long as you're getting your 40 squats, 40 lunges, 40 reps of abs, and 40 push-ups in there, it doesn't matter how you get them done. But I'm going to move on to my combo. This is our push-up, lunge, and squat combo. I'm going to do 20 sets of the combo, and then I'm going to repeat the entire thing once more. So starting with my push-up, I'm going to start towards one end of my workout space, standing in a neutral position. I'm going to bend down, place my hands flat on the ground. I'm going to jump my feet back. You can step your feet back one at a time if you prefer. Do my push-up. Now I'm going to jump the feet back in. You can step your feet back in if you prefer. Now one walking lunge with a jump. So I'm going to step forward and lunge. Now jump up and bring this back foot forward so that it's in line with my front foot. Now from here, you can, if you want to simplify it, do a squat with a twist jump so that you end up facing in the opposite direction. That's your combo. We're doing 20 sets. So hands down, jump or step the feet back. Push up, jump or step the feet in. Now make sure that you're initiating the lunge with the opposite leg. So I'm always initiating my lunge with the leg that's closest to you. Step forward and lunge. Bring the back foot forward. Now I'm going to squat and twist jump, making sure that I'm rotating in the opposite direction. So every time I do that twist jump, I'm facing you. Now I'm not going to do a twist jump. I'm going to do my transition a little bit differently. So this is my combo. I'm counting those as my first 2 sets, but for the remainder, I'm going to be doing this. Hands down, jump the feet back, push up, jump the feet in. Now, leg closest to you initiates the lunge. I think I forgot to do my jump up last time, but I'm going to add a little jump there. Now, I'm going to do my squat. And instead of doing my twist jump, I'm going to place this back hand down. I'm going to pivot to face forward. Then I'm going to place this hand down, pick up my front foot, pivot to face the opposite direction, and now I'm doing my jump up, all right? So that's my combo. So once more, be careful I don't kick my little puto. That's Michelangelo, if you're curious. So jump the feet back, push up, step forward and lunge, jump up, back leg comes forward. Now squat, back hand goes down, pivot to face front, pick up the inside foot and pivot again so that you're facing in the opposite direction and jump up. So I'm counting that as my first 4 sets. I'll walk you through 2 more and then I'm gonna zip it. We gotta pick up the pace so we get these done. We have to do another 16 of these. So here we go. Hands down, jump the feet back, push up, jump the feet in, step forward and lunge, jump up, step the back foot forward. Now squat, hand goes down, crab pose, pivot to face the opposite direction and jump up. Okay, so that's set number 5. Now, heading back in the opposite direction. Hands down, jump or step the feet back, push up, jump or step the feet in. Stepping forward with the opposite leg for your lunge, jump up, step the foot forward, squat, hand comes down, crab pose, pivot, squat facing the opposite direction, and jump up. All right, so that's my first 6 reps. I have to do 14 more, so I'm gonna zip it so I can conserve some energy. Just pick whichever transition works best for you. 16 more sets. Lost track of where I am. I'm gonna call that 7. I think that was 7. Is that 8? Yeah, I think that was 8. All right. 12 more. We got this. That's 16. 4 more. Two more. One more. That's 20. So now all we have to do is repeat the whole thing once more. I've talked you through everything once, so now you know what we're doing. I'm not going to talk as much this round so I can conserve some energy and hopefully pick up my pace a little bit. Let's see if we can finish the whole thing in under 25 minutes. We're gonna have to really push, so do your best. Starting again with another 20 reps of dead bugs on each leg. Just like that. It's 19, this is the last one. And 20. So abs are done. Everything else is half done. Squats, lunges, and push-ups are half done. We just have to do another 20 sets of our combo. So as soon as you're ready, here we go. don't know if that was 6 or 8. I'll say it's 6. That's 10. 10 more. That's 18. I think I just have to do 2 more. It's 19. I'm pretty sure that's 20, but I'm not entirely certain. I feel like I might have lost count at some point, So if you know that was 20 sets, if you are better at counting than I am, then just skip ahead, do your bonus burpee. But I'm going to do another 4 sets of the combo just to make sure, because once I get that thought in my head that I might have skipped a set or 2 or 3 or 4, I can't get rid of it until I scratch that itch on my brain by doing a few more sets. So this way I know that these sets might be extra, but at least I'll go through the rest of my day knowing that there's a possibility that I may have done a few extra reps rather than wondering if there's a possibility that I didn't do enough. So I want to make sure that I get at least my 160 reps done every day. So if you want to join me for another 4 sets, let's just do these for safety, as they say in the biz. All right, that's 4 more. Now I feel like I'm pretty confident that I've done at least 40 squats, at least 40 lunges, and at least 40 push-ups. So that's our 160 plus reps. We just have 1 rep left to go. Remember that no workout of mine is ever complete until we have done our bonus burpee. The bonus burpee is really important. It's the exclamation point at the end of the workout. It's the thing that officially completes the workout. So you must do a bonus burpee after every workout. It is required. It is part of the workout. It is part of this challenge. So let's go ahead and do our bonus burpee together, and then the workout will be officially complete. So as soon as you're ready, here we go. This is our final rep of the day. The workout is now officially complete. So that ended up taking me a total of 22 minutes and 50 seconds, not including those final 4 sets. So if I stopped my timer before I had completed 20 sets of the combo, then I'll need to add time to this score. But as of right now, I'm saying my official score is 22:50. So I did manage to pick up the pace in round 2. I managed to meet my goal of finishing in under 25 minutes, I think. And next time I do this workout, I'll probably make it my goal to finish in under 20 minutes. So that's part of the reason I like to time the workouts, is so that next time I do this exact same workout in the exact same way with no changes, I will have a very clear goal in mind for a time that I'm trying to beat. And I know based on my performance today that setting a goal of 20 minutes is something I'll have to work hard to achieve, but I'll know that it is attainable. So you don't have to time the workouts, but I find it helpful, and I also find it really encouraging every time I come back and do the same workout to see my times improving, to see my scores getting better. And it's evidence that the workouts are working, my hard work is paying off, I'm getting faster, I'm getting stronger, and it's really encouraging. I know everybody's brain works differently, so it's not necessarily beneficial for everyone, but I recommend trying it and seeing if it's helpful for you. If it doesn't help you in any way, then you can stop timing the workouts. But if you did time your workout today and you feel comfortable sharing your score, feel free to comment with your score. Let me know how long it took you. But my official score as of this point for this workout today is 22:50. So let's just do a quick cool down together. You just want to keep moving while you allow your heart rate to come down a little bit and while you allow your breathing to normalize. So you can pace around back and forth, maybe shake out the legs a little bit and focus on slowing down your breathing. You do that by really feeling your diaphragm being pulled down as you inhale. As you inhale, I also want you to allow your rib cage to expand and visualize filling up your entire torso with air. So as you inhale, feel your diaphragm being pulled down. Breathe all the way down to your belly button. Allow your rib cage to expand, filling up your entire torso with air, and then using your diaphragm to control the air as you exhale. So shake out the legs a little bit. Let's do a quick shoulder stretch, bringing one arm across your body, using your other arm to pull it in close to your chest. Make sure that your straight arm is completely relaxed, and make sure that your shoulder is relaxed. If your shoulder is tense and hunched up by your ear, you're not going to be able to stretch it effectively, and this is a really nice shoulder stretch. So relax the arm. Keep moving while we're doing these stretches. So you can see I'm just kind of shaking out my legs. You can pace around back and forth. You can even just shift your weight from foot to foot, but keep moving and keep focusing on slowing down your breathing. So let's take one more deep breath here, breathing all the way down to your belly button. Control the exhale, shake it out. Let's get the other shoulder. So bringing the opposite arm across your body, using your other arm to pull it in close to your chest. Straight arm is completely relaxed. Shoulders are relaxed. They should be down away from your ears. Feel that nice stretch in your shoulder. Keep moving. And keep focusing on slowing down your breathing. So one more deep breath here. Feel that diaphragm being pulled down. As you inhale, breathe all the way down to your belly button. Fill up your entire torso with air. Control the exhale. Shake it out. Let's get the triceps. So bending one elbow, place your hand on your elbow and gently pull your elbow towards the opposite shoulder, making sure that the fingers on your free hand are pointing straight down at the ground. You want to avoid having your free hand hanging out up here somewhere by your shoulder. So point those fingers straight down at the ground as you gently pull your elbow towards the opposite shoulder. Feel that nice stretch in your triceps. Keep moving. One more deep breath here. And come out. Other side. So bend your other elbow, place your hand on the elbow and gently pull your elbow towards the opposite shoulder. Fingers on your free hand are pointing straight down at the ground as you gently pull that elbow towards the opposite shoulder. Keep moving. Again, you can pace. You can shake out the legs. You can shift your weight from foot to foot, whatever feels good for you. And keep focusing on your breath. So let's take one more deep breath here. And exhale. Shake it out. Let's finish with a quad stretch. So if you struggle with balance, you can hold on to the wall for support or any strong, sturdy, stable, elevated surface. Your kitchen counter, the arm of your couch, a chair. You're going to bend one knee, bring the foot up behind you, reach back and grab a hold of the top of your foot with the hand that's on the same side if you're holding on to something for support. If you're not holding on to anything for support, you can reach back and grab a hold of the top of your foot with both hands. And then you're going to press your heel into your booty cheek. And I mean really press it in there. As you're doing that, you want to tilt your pelvis forward. So think about tucking your booty underneath you and trying to touch your spine with your belly button. As soon as you combine both of those two elements, you're going to instantly feel that stretch intensify in your quad muscles as you isolate them more effectively. But I also want you to feel the stretch extend all the way up to your hip flexors. So coming out, shake out the legs. Let's get the other side. So bending the other knee, bring the foot behind you, reach back and grab a hold of the top of your foot with the hand that's on the same side if you're holding on to something for support. If you are not holding on to anything for support, you can reach back and grab a hold of the top of your foot with both hands. Press your heel into your booty cheek. And as you are doing that, you are tilting your pelvis forward. So tuck the booty underneath you, suck your belly button back towards your spine, and make sure as you're tilting your pelvis forward that you are continuing to press your heel into your booty cheek. And as you're pressing your heel into your booty cheek, make sure you're continuing to tilt your pelvis forward so that you isolate your quads more effectively and deepen that stretch, extending that stretch all the way up to your hip flexors. One more nice deep breath here. So inhale, sending the breath all the way down to your belly button. Filling up your entire torso with air and using your diaphragm to control the air as you exhale, coming out of it. Shake out the legs, shake out the wrists, shake out the arms, swing the arms a little bit, and that is it. That's our little cool down. So now I'm going to go right into my cardio. I have Rebecca here with me today. Rebecca is my adorable black jump rope with these cute little white skulls on the handles. If you would like to know where I get my jump ropes, there's a link and a coupon code in the description box down below the video. So click on the link and use coupon code Rebecca to save an additional 10% on your jump rope. I'm going to set my interval timer for 10-second rest intervals and 20-second work intervals times 40 rounds. That's 20 minutes. I'm going to get some music going and I'm just going to knock out my cardio. 20 minutes of moderate paced cardio with my jump rope. And then I'm going to immediately start my stretching routine. I'll spend about 20-30 minutes stretching, and then I can have my shower, eat some lunch, and get on with the rest of my day. So the additional cardio is not mandatory. It is not officially part of the challenge, but I'm sharing this with you because this is how I do the challenge every year. After every single workout, I add on 20 to 30 minutes or more of moderate paced cardio. 9 times out of 10, that's 20 minutes of interval jump rope. But sometimes I might decide to go for a jog. If it's a nice day out and I have time, I might do a nice long hike. But you can go for a bike ride or a swim if you have access to a swimming pool, or if you live close to water and it's nice and warm by where you are. A swim is amazing cardio. If you have a heavy bag, you can work on your heavy bag. If you have access to something like an exercise bike or a treadmill or an elliptical or a Stairmaster, you could do that. If you have stairs in your home or your apartment complex, or if you took your workout to a local beach or park or hiking trail today where there's steps, up and down the steps is another great option. If you have access to the field at your local high school, you could jog around the track. You could do up and down the bleachers. You could combine them if you want to make it super intense. Maybe do like once around the track, once up and down the bleachers, and see how many times you can do that in 20 minutes. That would be super intense. I think that would be an amazing idea to try. But any type of moderate paced cardio you want to do is absolutely fine. You could even just do a fitness class, or meet someone in the park and play some basketball or some tennis. So again, the additional cardio is not mandatory, but if you are looking to use this challenge to get yourself in shape, to improve your stamina, or if you're trying to lose weight, then finding at least 2 or 3 days a week to tack on some cardio after the workouts is going to go a long way towards helping you to accelerate that process. And you'll start to see results faster, which is really encouraging, because as soon as you start to see the results of your hard work, it makes it a lot easier to find the motivation to stick with the challenge once you see that what you're doing is working. So again, if you don't have time to do the cardio after every single workout, I get that. I understand we're all busy, but I strongly recommend that you find at least 2 to 3 days a week where you can tack on some additional cardio after the workout. 20 to 30 minutes is ideal. More is great if you have time and you want to do that. I just know that if you can find the time to add on cardio at least 2 or 3 days a week after the workouts, you will be so much happier with your results on day 40 of the challenge. And I want you to be happy with your results after the challenge is complete. So once more, the additional cardio is not required. It is not technically part of the challenge, but it is strongly recommended. Also incredibly strongly recommended is that you find 20 or 30 minutes a day to stretch. Right now, immediately after the workout, or if you're adding on cardio, immediately after your cardio is going to be the most efficient and the most effective time to get your stretching done, because your muscles are already nice and warm. But if you don't have time to do your stretching now, that's fine. You can put it off until later in the day. As long as you're getting your stretching done at some point during the day, that's what matters. But taking the time to stretch every day is going to go a long way towards helping to alleviate any muscle soreness that you might be experiencing after the workouts. It is also going to help reduce your risk of injury, which is really important if you're doing the challenge, because a big part of the reason we're doing this challenge is to establish a habit of daily exercise. And you do that through consistent effort. That's why we are working out Monday through Saturday of every week, 6 workouts in a row, every single week. So if you injure yourself and you have to skip a few days while you recover, then all that momentum that we're working so hard to build is just going to come to a screeching halt, and it's going to make it really difficult to establish that habit. The goal is to do all 40 days of the challenge so that by day 40, you have firmly established that habit of daily exercise and you continue with it after the challenge is over. So making sure that you're stretching every day is going to help you to accomplish that, because it's going to reduce your risk of injury. It's going to lessen the likelihood that you will get hurt during one of the workouts and have to be sidelined for a few days. And also, of course, taking the time to stretch every day is going to improve your flexibility. So if you're doing these 160 reps with me every single day to build your strength, and you're adding on 20 to 30 minutes or more of additional cardio after 2 or 3 workouts a week to improve your stamina, why not take the time to stretch every day while you're at it and improve your flexibility? Flexibility is a really important aspect of your overall fitness level that I think sometimes can be overlooked, maybe undervalued. So please make sure you are taking the time to stretch every single day, but please make sure you are doing so safely. So remember that if you do put off your stretching until later on in the day, your muscles will have gotten cold again. So you will need to take a few minutes to warm them back up before you begin stretching. You never want to jump into your stretching routine with cold muscles, because your muscles need to be warm in order for them to be pliable so that you can stretch them safely and effectively. But that's it. That is officially a wrap on day 15. So I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did this day 15 workout with me today, thank you so much. Please let me know what you thought of it and how you did. If you are doing this challenge with me, please let me know. I like to have an idea of how many people are doing the challenge with me this year. But even if you're not doing the challenge with me, thank you for doing this workout with me. Thank you to everyone who has been working out with me lately. And even if you're not doing the workouts, thank you for watching the videos. Thank you for liking and sharing the videos. Thank you so much for all of your wonderful and supportive and engaging comments. It truly does mean the world to me. Thank you to all of my new subscribers. If you are not subscribed already, please subscribe. And of course, a great big thank you to those of you who have been subscribed to my channel for years. Please know that I appreciate you all so very much. One final reminder that if anything was unclear with the format of today's workout and how everything fits together, if you have any questions about the exercises that we were doing today, if you have any doubts about how to do the exercises with the correct form, or if you need any further help with equipment-free substitutions or beginner modifications, I am always here to help, so please ask questions if you have them. And if you know anyone else who might be interested in joining the challenge, remember, it is not too late to join. It is never too late to join, so please feel free to share this video with them. Feel free to share the playlist with them, and any or all of the 3 playlists with them. The more people doing this challenge with me every year, the happier I am. So if you know anyone that might be interested, please let them know about the challenge and invite them to join.